Hi everyone, this is Larry from That's What's Cooking. It's been a little while since I've shot a video. I think my flat top is kind of lonely, so not that I haven't been cooking. I've been out here cooking a lot. Someone gave me a smoker and I've been testing it out, doing a lot of that. Also a lot of grilling. I've had a lot of birthday parties that I had been cooking for, some special events, but I've got a couple of new ideas on some things, and I wanted to get out here and cook it up on my flat top and just share it with you guys. So tonight I'm going to be cooking some chicken. I'm going to call it Southwest chicken. We've got some green chilies and some onions on it. I think you're going to like it. Some cheese. I've got also some fried corn I'm going to do. Corn with some peppers and some green onions, some lime on it, and top it off with some baby potatoes baked with bacon on it, and then we're going to top it off with a bunch of cheese. So I think it'll be good. Anyways, that's what's cooking. I've got my chicken thighs down on the flat top. I've got it on low. I don't want to burn anything right away. I didn't use a whole lot of oil because the thighs generally come with a little bit of fat on them, so we would get too much on the cooking on them. You would get too much grease out here, so and we want to get a nice sizzle, a nice cook. So basically that's all I'm doing right now. I'm just gonna brown them, cook them as much as I can. I'll put some spices on them, a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. What I do when I generally put these down, what you see me doing, I don't like it sticking. So I'll go ahead and let it down, let it get a little sizzle, but before it gets too hot and they stick, I'll just kind of lift them up a little bit and just kind of move them around. So it's already got a little bit of a crust building, but that way they're just, when you're not gonna get that surprise when you come back that they're stuck, then you got a problem. So just go ahead and put them down on a low, maybe low to medium heat, depending on how many that you have there, and just kind of space them out, keep an eyeball on them. Always a little bit of seasoning. Let's go with some garlic salt on them. Probably gonna do some pepper also. I'll probably end up using the domes also at the end there, just so we can go ahead and make sure that everything is cooked all the way through. But right now we're just going to go ahead and brown them, and once they're brown, we can go ahead and start with the garnish that we're going to saute up and put up on top. It's a little something that I had seen online. It wasn't exactly like this, but it just kind of gave me an idea. I always like looking at things and kind of making things my own. So this is my own, and like I said, I wasn't sure what to call it. We're just going to call it Southwest chicken. So let's just go ahead and get these a nice brown on them, and then we'll start the garnish. Well, I went ahead and put them underneath the domes. I like using the domes. It retains that heat. It retains that heat, and everything seems to cook faster. I'm gonna go ahead and I've had them probably underneath the domes now 5, maybe 6 minutes. We're gonna go ahead and take the domes off, and let's see how they're cooking along. Okay, see, you can see with the domes on, you see how they're starting to change color with the white and everything, and underneath it's getting that nice brown that we want. So for right now, I'm just gonna go ahead and flip them. Right now they got a nice little crust on the other side. The white coming out like that on this side, that means that they're cooking through. They're cooking through. So I'll probably go ahead and flip them and put them on underneath the domes again. That way we just get that good solid cook within. Because with chicken, yeah, you definitely want it cooked inside. So get yourself some domes. If you don't have any, they work great. We'll use them again later when we're finishing off the chicken for the Southwest chicken. But I'm just going to go ahead and flip these around. I think I might put a little bit of spice on this side also, and then we'll put them back underneath the domes. Well, they've been underneath the domes the second time. On the other side, I just want to check them and just make sure nothing's sticking. They come along pretty good. See, this side is getting a nice little brown on it. Leave it a little bit more, but yeah, it's coming along really good. And you can see the grease where I was saying that before you put it down, you don't want a whole lot of oil on. You know what? One of the options may be not even to put anything down, because the chicken itself will go ahead and produce a lot of oil and grease. And so I'm just checking these, just making sure nothing's sticking. Just moving them around. I did put some salt and pepper on them. So these are pretty close to being done. Like I said, I've got it on low. Any higher, this oil would be splattering everywhere. So keep it low, keep it under control, get the domes so you get that nice intense heat that'll make sure that you're cooking on the inside. We're gonna leave them here for another few minutes, and then I'm just gonna turn them over, let them cook a little bit more on the other side. And what I'll probably do, because it's just me, I might take them off and clean my grill, because when I do the garnish and the end with the cheese melted on top, I don't like cooking on top of something that's already been cooked on top of. That's just me. So I'll probably move the chicken off, clean my grill, and then bring it back on so we can go ahead and start sauteing the garnish and all that. So we'll be back in a minute. I went ahead and pulled off my chicken. It was cooked pretty good. And the reason I did that was because I have a lot here. If you're cooking a smaller amount, you could probably just move it to one of the sides of your flat top here. Keep it warm over here while you're going to start to do the garnish, and that's what we're going to do right now. I went ahead and cleaned it, put down a little bit of oil. What we're going to do for the garnish, we're going to go with some diced green chilies. Diced green chilies and some diced white onions. So it's easy. All we're going to do is just put it down. I did drain them. When you open them up, you're going to want to drain them. Like I said, once again, you know, we're on low. Keep it low, keep control. That's what I like to do. So gonna go ahead and put out some some green chilies. Green chilies. Go ahead with some white onions, diced up. I diced these ones pretty fine. Put a good proportion to it on here because the onions do shrink. I tell you what, we're just gonna put them all. I was looking at what I'm doing, and I'm like, you know what? We're just gonna put them all down. That's roughly about 1.5 large white onions. Okay, basically, let's just go ahead and saute them up. There's a little bit of oil down, and what we want to do is just get a nice saute on them, move them around. The peppers the chilies are sensitive, so just keep an eyeball on them, but there's enough onion in there. I think it'll give it a cushion to where the chili isn't directly on the flat top by itself. So we've got enough white onion to where it'll give it a nice cushion. That way the green chili isn't burning by itself. So that's all I'm going to do is just saute these. Just keep an eyeball on them, move them around a little bit, see how they're cooking. And we're going to come back when they're finished. It doesn't take long, so we'll be back in just a little bit, and we'll put some chicken down, and we're going to go ahead and make our Southwest chicken. Okay, I went ahead and put them underneath the domes. Let's check it out, see how it's going along. Good. Move it around. Like I said, just let it get a little sizzle. What I might do, well, I might turn the heat up just a little bit. Just a little bit. It smells great with the green chilies and the onions. I think I'm just going to go just a hair. Not a lot, just a hair. Get it sauteing up maybe a little bit faster. So we'll go ahead and saute this up. We'll finish it up and then we'll bring out the chicken and we'll get it going. Well, the onions and the chilies have sauteed up pretty good. What I'm gonna do is, this is something, like I said, I saw online, but they use different ingredients, and I just wanted to kind of do my own thing. I love chilies, love onions, and try to use it in a lot of my cooking and stuff. So, so what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna get a little bit. I'm gonna try to put it on top. I did put down a couple of them. I'm not gonna put down all my chicken, but I'm just gonna put it on top. So a little bit on top. See if we can get a little more. There we go. Okay, got that right there. And let's go ahead with some jalapeno cheese. Let's just get it right up on top. And what we're going to try to do is just get it to melt on top of that. Okay. Of course, the best way to do it, get yourself a dome. Let's set that on top of there just for a few minutes, and we'll come back, okay? It's on low. Maybe I should turn it up a little bit. So I'm going to put it maybe on medium. That way that will get a lot of heat inside there. So we'll be back in a few minutes, and let's see how the cheese is melted. Okay, because the heat, I turned it up a little bit. I think they should be done. Let's go ahead and check it out. Oh yeah, those look great, and that's exactly how you want them. I'm just going to do a few right now so we can go ahead and show. But don't those look great? We've got the sauteed onions and green chilies on top of the chicken with melted jalapeno cheese on top of that. That's what I'm calling my Southwest chicken. So I'm going to go ahead up and finish up the rest of my chicken because I've got some people coming over for dinner. And then we'll go ahead and start with a couple of the sides, the fried corn and then the potatoes. We're going to go ahead with the fried corn now. Chicken came out great. It's a little work, but it's well worth it. I'll show you at the end there what they turned out, and I think everyone's going to be pretty happy. Right now we're going to do the fried corn. This is just canned corn. I guess you can use any brand that you want. I just drain it. Make sure that it's drained. I cleaned my grill, put down a new coat of oil on it. It's pretty warm, so as soon as I put these down, you're going to start hearing a sizzle. Get all that in there. Let's go ahead with another one. It's pretty fast on this. All you're really doing is just putting it down. You're gonna spread it around a little bit. But what I'm gonna do it with some green onions and some red bell pepper. Let's go ahead with the green onions right now. Use green onions every once in a while. I think that's pretty good. And I cut up, this is 2 red bell peppers. So let's go ahead and put these in. Diced. You can make them any size you want. I like them small. Looks nicer. Let's go ahead with some seasoning. How about that? A little bit of garlic salt. And we'll do some pepper. Hear that popping? I hope it's not making popcorn. So, yeah, it's not. It's just getting hot. and move it around. Okay, we've got our canned corn, we've got our green chili, and our red bell pepper, little seasoning. All you want to do is just move it around. Move it around, get a nice mix in it. Let it get a really nice sizzle. Like I said, just mix it, spread it, look at it. When you can start seeing it get a little bit of brown on it, or you can test your peppers and your onions and see how those are cooking. And you don't want to shrivel them up. I mean, you just want them to be tender. So we're going to go ahead and move it around a little bit, and then we're going to let it sit, and we'll come back and look at it. I may even turn the heat up a little bit, just because I do want it to be quick, because the corn is already cooked. You just want to get the other things a little bit of cooked on them. So let's go ahead and let this sit here. I think I'm going to turn it up just a little bit, and we'll come back in a minute and see how it's doing. Well, I'm just kind of turning it, give it a good mix, spreading it around a little bit to get a nice even cook on it, making sure that the peppers are cooked. I think it's time now. I'm going to go ahead and add some lime. It's something that I think it'll work going along with this kind of meal and everything. So just get yourself some limes. I finally got myself a lime squeezer, so we're just going to go ahead with some limes. Give it a nice lime flavor. Not an overpowering one. I mean, a lot of it is going to burn up in here anyways. Yeah, that's a lot easier than doing it by hand. So basically this was 2 limes. Smells great. And I'm just going to go ahead and give it a nice mix. And I'm pretty sure that the corn is done. Maybe spread it out a little bit. Let it cook in just a little bit more, and that's about it. The peppers look tender. Doesn't take too much for the peppers to get done. I know the onions are good, but yep, this is our fried corn, Southwest fried corn. That's what we're going to go ahead and call it. Okay, for the last side item, I wanted to do a vegetable potato. I was thinking, along with the chicken and the corn that we just did. And in my mind, I was thinking of the potato wedges that you can get from Jack in the Box. I have always loved those with the bacon on them and the cheese. So basically that's what we're gonna do. I've got some bacon right here. We're gonna put it down. Just fry it up. We're gonna fry it up a little bit. And now the potatoes, I went ahead and boiled them a little bit. Just give them a head start, because potatoes take a while. Today I didn't have a while, and I wanted everything to be done. So to me, there's nothing wrong with that. We'll go ahead and put the potatoes out here. Let's get the bacon going first. The pepper bacon, I don't know. Family really likes the pepper bacon. We get it at the supermarket. Just gonna fry it up, and I did happen to get the mini potatoes, or the baby potatoes they call them. We boiled them up. We cooked them. Like I said, probably boiled them maybe about 15, maybe 20 minutes. Cut them into quarters. And this time, I'm going to use this. I haven't used this in a while. It's called Seasonal, and it's delicious. It really is. So we're going to put that on top of the potatoes. Gives it a great flavor. And what I have at the end, after I'm all done with that, we're going to put the cheese up on top, directly on top of there, and just let it melt. Let it melt all over there, and that'll be our third side dish. So let's go ahead with a nice, or I should say maybe a generous amount of the seasonal. It's got a great flavor on potatoes. I've used it on beef. Letting everything cook. Since I've got a lot out here, I'll generally make 2 piles. Now we just want to get a nice sizzle on the potatoes. Like I said, they've already boiled maybe about 20 minutes. They're good, they're tender, they're not mushy or they're going to fall apart. So I can bring them out here and cook them with the bacon and just give them a nice sizzle. So just tossing it around, making sure everything is even. So that's what we're going to do here for a few minutes. We'll come back and we'll see how everything's cooking. Well, I think the potatoes are cooked enough. Like I said, we went ahead and boiled them first for about 15-20 minutes, and we just wanted to get a nice sizzle on them. The bacon is perfect now, and I did add to taste the seasonal. We wanted to make sure that came out really good and enough seasoning. So yes, I did put on some more. So basically what I'm going to do now, just to finish off the potato wedges, with any kind of cheese you want. I just use the cheddar because that's what the family likes, and we already have jalapeno on the chicken. So right here, I'm just going to go ahead and add a generous amount. Now this is just one of those big blocks. I think it's like 2 pounds. So we're just going to put it on top, and hopefully it should melt down. I may get your flat top kind of dirty, but that's okay. Once the mill's cooking, everything's going to taste good. We're just going to go ahead and spread it around. Okay, I'm just going to let it melt in on top, and then I'm going to try to move it after that. But basically that is your potato wedges, and the only thing I have left after that, which I'll probably put on the inside once we have everything moved, is I have some green onions left. So we'll just go ahead on the top with it, just to make it look nice. And of course, green onions do taste good also. So that's what we have here, my Southwest dinner with a Southwest chicken. We got the Southwest corn that we did up, and now with our potato wedges, the green onions. That's what we're having for dinner. So we'll go ahead and once we go back inside, I'll show you everything we cooked, and we'll just go over it once again. Okay. Well, this is everything that we cooked out there today. Southwest chicken, like I said, it came up pretty good with the chicken thighs, and I sauteed up some onions and some green chilies, and topped it off with some jalapeno cheese on top of it. We have our fried corn that I had with red bell pepper, green onions, and some seasonings, and the lime. We squeezed plenty of lime there. It tastes delicious. Here's my version of the potato wedges. We just have the baby potatoes with the bacon. We had the all season on there, and we just dumped a bunch of cheese on there and let it all cook. I have the green onions on the side to put like a garnish on top in case somebody wants one. So we're going to go ahead and do up a plate, and we'll show you the finished product. Well, here's our finished product. We have our Southwest chicken that we did up with the chili and onion garnish topped over with jalapeno cheese. We've got some fried corn with the red bells, green onions, and a lot of lime, some spices, and my version of the potato wedge with the bacon, the baby potatoes and the cheese smothered all over it. I garnished it with a few green onions. So this is what we're having tonight. Like I said, I guess I deemed it's Southwest chicken. So got a few people over for dinner, and I'm pretty excited about it. And I think they will be also. So thanks much. We'll see you next time.